Alright, hey, what's up, guys? Just doing a little beginning of the week market update here for you. So we definitely have seen some things change since the last update. I mean, I think we talked about some alts and how they were looking. That trade kind of already played itself out. I was mostly in it with futures. I still hold a little bit of spot positions, mostly in with futures that I'm out of. Memes definitely kind of falling out of favor recently as well. And what else you might want to touch on? The hyperliquid stuff has been doing great. If you've been paying attention to that at all, hype and per, those two coins on there seem to be catching a significant mind share as well. The traditional alt market, let's take a look at that first. I mean, it doesn't look too great, to be honest with you. I mean, you can just see, you can look at the distribution here. It's just getting slammed with Popcat, Wild, like an AI coin, Tau, Bonk, these memes that we were talking about, Doge, but it's not just memes. It seems like most of the altcoin market has been just getting decimated recently. Look at a 5 minute here. I mean, you can just see. Seems like it's mostly Bitcoin leading the charge, maybe sucking liquidity out of the alt market, which wouldn't surprise me for sure. It seems like, Saylor keeps buying, the ETFs keep buying, so I don't know if that's really going to change anytime soon. And if it doesn't, it might just keep sucking liquidity out of alts, especially until we get maybe a more range environment. I mean, it looks super choppy, which it kind of is intraday. You kind of just get these spikes up and then these flushes and then spike and then flush. But on the daily, I mean, this thing just it does look great. You'd be stupid to be bearish, but we are deep into the bull market. Some seasonality things I do want to touch on. Right around now until the end of the year, we are in the Santa rally. Remember, the first 2 weeks aren't so great. Right around the 15th, 16th, 17th, and the 13th and 14th are when it tends to bottom on stocks. So it doesn't mean it'll be the same for crypto, but just something to watch out for. Normally it kind of does this. It'll kind of dip, and then we get these, like, let's say this is the 13th through the 16th. It'll kind of bottom here, and then it kind of rallies into the end of the year. So something to watch out for. We do have FOMC tomorrow. So, if you want to play the seasonality play, kind of what I'm going to play into, maybe we get a nice swipe tomorrow you can position on, but I'll get more into that later. Let's go over Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin, definitely still bullish on. I mean, just don't fight the trend. Kind of stupid, generic things, but more granular. I mean, we do have this previous week VWAP here on top of this composite. It would be a good place to buy, but I don't know. You almost kind of don't want it to go that low. I'm still holding, my spot Bitcoin, so I'm not really looking to move any of it just yet. Just kind of see how it plays out. Mostly playing alts for futures. But yeah, this is kind of my medium term look, what I'm looking at. I mean, obviously we built this big range here. Built a big range. Broke out of the range very nicely. Kind of held the value area high here, and then just kind of establishing value higher. I'm chopping around. So it's not super explosive moves, really. It's very controlled, almost like someone is sitting on the bid. And when I say sitting on the bid, it's just kind of marking up like this, and someone's just sitting there, soaking it. It's not a bunch of aggressive buyers that are spiking it, and that just kind of gets immediately sold down. I mean, we do see that sometimes, but it does seem to be pretty spot driven. Right, so that's kind of the outlook. Again, areas I'm watching, maybe 98, but I mean, we're at 106, so it might not even get down that low. I'm kind of just playing the flows right now. Let me pull those up. All right, so from a flow perspective, let's see. Oh, something I did want to show you guys over here. I mean, look at the sector performance. It is just, where's memes? Okay, just pass it. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, I mean, you guys can see memes are getting slaughtered compared to most things. AI as well, which is kind of surprising, but is what it is. And we're seeing the jump back into maybe quality with Trump back in office, so definitely watch out for the DeFi and the L1 kind of stuff, L2, the actual thing that people might perceive as value, even if it is garbage. All right, so while we're in Velo, let's look over here. So on this move up, I mean, funding, not too crazy. I mean, you can see it's not, it's really low to be honest. And then also the OI, it's definitely ticked up. I mean, there's no doubt about that, but it keeps kind of getting, like it'll tick up, then they'll wipe it out, then it gets ticked up, and then it got wiped out again. So it seems like people maybe are chasing it to the upside, but I'm definitely a little bit more cautious about longing, when it's in this upper range of OI. These kind of OI ranges have been useful in the past, so, it's not a rule, but just be a little bit more careful. Let's go here. The funding is also very low. I mean, but altcoins really haven't been doing well at all, so, I mean, that's par for the course. Now we can look at our depth chart here. I mean, you can kind of see what I was talking about. It seems like even though spot CBD is getting sold, you have a Coinbase premium. So, I mean, what that could indicate is even though people are selling spot, it's getting soaked by passive buyers in the order book. It's kind of what it looks like to me. Could be wrong, but it definitely looks like there's a spot bid there. It just maybe, they're not going to enter an M market. They're a little bit more sophisticated, especially these ETFs. All right. So basically, I'm saying all that. Again, FOMC, when is it? Is it Wednesday? So FOMC on Wednesday, and we have another piece of data at 8:30 tomorrow, which probably won't matter at all for us. I definitely wouldn't be surprised on like an FU move, maybe one more on alts. I am still holding my ETH trade that I was talking about, but I was gonna cycle through most of the alts I have on my watch list. They look pretty terrible. FTM has been looking strong. That was one of the coins. Sui as well. But, I mean, you guys can see how these other ones look. They do not look great. Almost kind of like they're losing momentum and structure. Like, especially, like here's a great one. And we marked up. We broke this lower and then we, yeah. I mean, come on, it's obvious. Probably all the way back. So, to recap, overall, definitely still bullish. Sailor seems to keep just buying, literally top blasting indiscriminately, just buying as much as you can. ETF still looks like the money's flowing in. Let's check that as well. I think you can check it on here. It's still coming in strong. Let's check out ETH. Not great today though. It did tick down on ETH and Bitcoin, so maybe people just not want to take risk in front of FOMC. That definitely could be the case. I do kind of want to check this out. Yeah, implied volatility is also lowering. Okay, I'm just checking this out. Anyways, so the overall thesis, still bullish if the ETFs and Sailor keep buying, that's for sure. Alt's definitely getting slammed or kind of doing the chop of death, so I'm kind of not watching those as much. Again, I de-risked most of my alt exposure. Not saying you couldn't have any on, but just for me, they looked like they were getting murdered, and I already made my kind of trades after that nuke that we were talking about. Let's see. Yeah, after we get some constructive price action. So like I was saying, the FOMC, if we get something, that, let's say it marks up into the event. This is like 5 minutes before. If I can draw. So 5 minutes before, and we get the nuke, or maybe right after the news, and then it kind of recovers. Not based on this chart at all, I'm just swiggling it, and then we kind of recover it. Would look to get in on that, but you know, you also can look for the short leg as well. If we get a nice markup, you get that increase in OI, a lot of CVD piling in, you know, short it. That's a move as well. I'm kind of staying nimble, not too big of a bias. Another thing to note, just statistics wise, so we talk about the Santa rally. Also, FOMC moves normally take a couple of days after to really show a trend if it's going to give us one. So something to note. It might give us some whipsaw moves, but it's probably not going to be the end-all be-all kind of move just yet. Definitely still bullish but cautious. Bitcoin does seem to be sucking liquidity, which we talked about. And I think that's kind of it. Really waiting for big positions until FOMC, and I definitely will be scalping FOMC. Either to the long side or the short side, but we usually get some nice mean reversion trades around there. Look for high changes in open interest, which is this one down here. High changes in CVD as well. Those normally make some really great trades around FOMC. You can also look at liquidations if you like looking at that on Velo. You know, you could throw this down to a 1 minute chart and just look at for some high liquidations on either side as they get whipsawed. All right, that's kind of my plans. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. All right, thanks.